connecting with nature, with love and devotion. A trusting companion builds high on emotion. A good horse and rider, they're patiently trained. Together they're...
Over the last 4 seasons, we've brought you our 5-year-old granddaughter of Playgun, who we call Miss Purina, and let you watch her progress each week. This season, we're bringing you a 3-year-old gelding that also came from the Purina Animal Nutrition Center. His registered name is Six's Snake Eyes. We call him Hinto. He's by the 4/6 stallion, Six's Pick. We've got something extra special planned with this horse. Not only are you going to get to watch him progress over the next year, in December of 2017, we're going to give this horse away to one of our lucky Empower team members. So ride along with us each week as we develop Hinto's fundamentals and willing frame of mind. Our horses work hard for us every day, so nutrition is a major concern. I've relied on Purina horse feed products for over 12 years. Purina is always on the leading edge of research and nutrition innovation, and with their feed guard system, I know I can rely on the safety and quality of their products from coast to coast. No matter what you do with your horse, Purina has the right product for you. Visit horse.purinamills.com or find them on Facebook for more information. Hey everybody, I hope you're having a blessed day today. Welcome to Riding Horses. We're back out here today with Hinto. This is our 4-year-old gelding that we got from the Purina Animal Nutrition Center. Our intent with this horse is to give him away this December to one of our lucky Empower team members. What our plan with this horse has been since we got him, is to basically just put a year's worth of riding on him and let you guys see his progression from week to week. Since we've gotten this horse, it's already been quite a story what this horse has gone through. He's been sick, he's had surgery, but we've got him now where he's not only healthy, but he's sound, and this horse feels really, really good. He feels strong on his left front leg that he had surgery on, and the more I'm getting to ride him, this horse he's not just quiet and gentle, but this horse really wants to carry a soft feel. There's a lot of horses, in fact I own one that is a really nice horse, bred really nice, but just does not want to carry a soft feel. And this horse, the more I ride him, the more this horse really shows signs that he really, really wants to be soft. So I think today we're blessed that I'm not out here shivering. It's about 70 degrees today, so what a difference a couple weeks has made. But I've been riding this horse the last couple weeks. He has made a ton of changes since the last time we filmed. So I'm gonna just kind of go back with what we did last week and show you guys the changes that he's made. Probably the main thing last week was when we were loping this horse around. I'm just going to go ahead and get him moving around here and just bend around on him a little bit while I'm talking here, just to kind of get him warmed back up. When I would lope this horse around, he was really bad when I'd go to pick my left rein up to steer him to the left, primarily right over here on this side of this round pin. He would want to stay stiff through his body, and when he would finally follow that rein, he'd just drop his shoulder and come to it. And what we started with last week, as I was loping him around and trying to show you guys what he was doing, we started this idea of getting him to step to the right and pick this rein up here to the left. And you see there how now I can not only pick him up there to the left, but I can keep stepping him to the right. So last week I didn't have the freedom to really make use of my supporting rein. So that's what's going to be the biggest difference in where this horse is at right now. Riding him for, I guess we've been riding him for about a week and a half since we filmed last. I didn't have this horse in a spot mentally yet where I could use my supporting rein and keep any forward. So all I was doing was just picking my right rein up to get him to step right, and while his momentum was heading that way, I'd pick this left rein up and try to get him to bend his body while his momentum was still stepping to the right, just to get some bend there without him thinking he was just supposed to drop his shoulder and step to that rein. Now, we've got him where I can pick that up and I can hold this supporting rein out here wide if I need to, but I can just come across the pin here like that, and what it's going to do is it's going to let me trot and lope around this pin now and not have to worry so much about this horse dropping his shoulder. We'll come back up here and do this going straight to the camera again. We'll try the other side. Now this horse was really bad to the left. So the majority of my time has been on the left, trying to get the left caught up. So now I'm kind of in a spot where there's places where, just like right here, where the right doesn't feel quite as good as the left. But it's only because I've been doing about 2/3 of my work on this left side, just trying to get it caught up. It's not going to take a lot of work to get this right side back where the left side is now. We're not ready to trot yet, bud. Okay, so I'm going to try this. I'm going to come around here, just here at a walk. So I'm going to bend him to the right. So he's bent around my right leg. And as he comes around right here, his rib cage, primarily his shoulder, is kind of stuck out here to the left. I'm going to catch him right in that spot, right there, and I'm going to pick that rein up. And I'm going to wait on him to step away from it like that. So what I did was I caught him right there while he was basically bent to the right, and that shoulder was stuck over here to the left, to see if when I go to pick my left rein up with that shoulder way over here, if I could get him to move it back and still keep his forward motion. We'll try that again. Now my left leg, as I get him bent here and I pick that up, you can see how my hands will switch. This hand will go out here and help if it needs to. This leg is right up here if it needs to help, right behind my front cinch. It's not floating around back here. It's right up here by my front cinch. I want to make sure that I get really good moving my legs into specific positions on this horse's sides so I can help him make sense of what my leg is asking for. If I'm up there by that front cinch, then I'm trying to make it as clear as I can that I'm trying to get him to focus on his shoulder. I'm going to hold him here and get him bent. We'll do that one more time. I'm going to have a lot of bend right here. So from that position, and I'm having to help with my outside rein there a little bit, but just the fact now that I can catch him at that spot where that shoulder's stuck way out there to the left, and now start to pick up that left rein in close to his neck, as if to say I'm trying to lift that shoulder up, and then maybe not even just lift it up, but step it over. Now we'll try this other side. So I'll catch him coming around this way as he's coming back to the camera. So right here, I'm going to pick this rein up. My left hand is out here trying to say, I need you to step that way. This leg right up here by my front cinch again, trying to say I want that shoulder to move over. And there I kind of had to wait on him a little bit. But again, to me, it's only because I've been doing 2/3 of my work on that left side, because it was so stiff compared to the right side, that now he's kind of made a switch where now there's places where he's a lot better on the left. See this time if I can do this without losing my forward. So right there you see, I'm going to go ahead and stop him right there. When I picked that up, my right hand wasn't straight up right here. My right hand had completely crossed the plane of his neck, okay? And what I want this horse to think about is not just what rein I'm picking up. I want this horse to be thinking about where I'm picking that rein up to, Okay, if I'm picking that rein up right there, then all he needs to do is bend around that rein and move that shoulder over a little bit. But if I take that hand and I cross the plane of his neck, then I'm asking that shoulder to keep going that direction. Again, you can see where my supporting rein would be out there. My goal is to get my horses where I can pick them up with just that one rein, and I don't need my supporting rein quite so much. So we'll catch one spot right here, coming right at the camera. I'm going to pick him up, step him to the left, like so, and we'll pick him up and move him back over here to the right. So you can see where my hands are. If I needed to cross the plane of his neck, I would, but I can get in here really short, okay, and just hold that hand right there and use my leg a little bit. To me, it almost seems like I have an advantage if I'm a little bit shorter on my reins. I don't have my hands floating way up here so much, because what I tend to do when I get my hands way up here is my hands just can tend to draw back towards me. And if I'm trying to get my horse to maintain his forward, then as my hands get to the place where they just keep coming back, basically I'm drawing back on my horse like I am right here, and it's going to drain the forward out of him. But if I can come down here short and just hold that, where I can drive him forward. See here, I'm just holding that. I've got that rein against his neck. So now we're getting to the place where I've got a little bit more shoulder control on this horse. So when I go to trotting him and loping him around, we shouldn't have the issues that we had a week and a half ago. Hinto, that feels pretty good. So I'm going to give him a few minutes here to gather his thoughts, and then we'll come back and we'll speed him up a little bit and continue what we're doing. So stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Riding horses each day is a horse lover's dream.
With all the hauling and training we do each year, we put a lot of stress on our horses. Since adding Forco to our feeding program to help maintain the digestive system, our horses have never looked better, acted better, or performed as well as they do now. All right, we're going to take this idea with Hinto. I've been walking him around here, basically working on a counter bend where I'm trying to get this horse to bend his body around one of my reins and my leg that coincides with the rein on that side, to the point where I could bend my horse to one direction but step the shoulder away from his nose, basically. So we just showed you guys what it looked like at a walk. When we filmed with this horse a week and a half ago, he was really bad to want to drop his shoulder. Anytime I'd pick up specifically the left rein, I mean, there was no bend there at all. He would just drop that shoulder and step to that rein. So now we're going to speed it up a little bit to a trot. And I'm just going to find places here where I'm going to pick up on him and work on this same thing. So right here, he's wanting to drift to my right. His momentum was wanting to go to the right there. So here's what I've got, guys. Basically, there's a magnet over here on this side of this round pin. So this horse is constantly drawn to that side. So that'll kind of give you guys an idea why he's always drifting that way. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be trying to pick up on him over here on this side where he's pulling or drawing to that magnet, and see if I can't step him away from it. Like right there, I'm just going to try to pick him up a little bit. And I'm not going to hold it near as long as I did at the walk. I'm just going to try to get him to move off of it, and when he does, I'll turn loose of him. So right here again, my right hand out wide, my left hand is right here, It can be down here shorter if need be. Now that felt a lot better that time. He wasn't fighting his head that time. Going off my right leg and my right rein. That felt a lot better right there too. So as I bring him down in some smaller circles now that my supporting rein is actually beneficial, there's going to be places I'm going to pick up on him, and I'm just going to be ready with that supporting rein. To help keep him from dropping that shoulder. I would have loved to have done that a week and a half ago, but I didn't have enough feel and control built in this horse yet. Or maybe I could say this horse didn't have enough understanding of what I would have been asking him to do. So there he's pulling to that side of the pen again. Now I said I wasn't going to hold it as long as I did at the walk. The cool thing is, as he gets softer and he's following my feel a little better. Now I'm going to go ahead and come to the fence and stepping through there. I'll try to come around here a little bit more. There we go. I could have turned loose of that horse anywhere coming through here before I got to that fence. But because he's thinking drift down here so much, I just wanted to ride him all the way over there to the fence and hold that rein and let him find his way off that rein and off my right leg and be patient and give him a chance to figure out he can get through there, because sometimes this horse he'll kind of get in a hurry when he's fresh. If I was to trot him over here to this fence, as he gets closer to the fence, his mind gets to thinking, I need to make a decision here, right or left. And he'll just completely block me out and make his own decision there. And that's just an opportunity for me to remind him, I'm not going to run you into that fence, but I need you to be willing to listen to me as we get a little closer. Okay, so I'm going to bring him down here right in the middle in a small circle to the right. And right here I'm just using my inside rein as a direct rein to get this horse to just trot this circle. So now I'm going to pick this rein up and move it over closer to his neck. I'm going to help with my supporting rein, and I'm going to add my inside leg and just get him to widen this circle out a little bit. That's starting to feel really nice. This horse is starting to find that place where I'm trying to get his head to be, where he's not fighting me like he started out doing. When we filmed with this horse, those few times we got to film with him before he had surgery, this horse, I could tell then that he wanted to be soft, because he wouldn't just lean on my hands constantly. He'd lean into it really, really hard, but then he'd try to come off. So he was kind of, the best way I could describe it is he would bounce off my hands. And to me, that's a pretty good indication of whether or not a horse wants to be soft or if they're just going to lean on that pressure. This horse would bounce, but there were times when I'd pick up on him with two hands when we were just starting to introduce him to the two reins to slow him down and stop him. And man, he'd run that nose out so much it'd lift me plumb up out of the saddle. Come back to the trot right here. I'm going to do the same thing this way to the left. So here's just my left rein as a direct rein. Now I'm going to start to use it as an indirect rein, add my supporting rein, and just ask him to widen that circle out a little bit. Horse is going to really want to roll up in that bridle. This horse is going to feel really, really good as we continue through this year. I'm going to set that up again. He's right here in this spot. Right when I feel him starting to drift, right there, I'm going to challenge him and start to pick this rein up to try to bring that counter bend back into the picture. Right when I feel him starting to drift to that magnet, which is about right there. And I've got him bent to make it easy for that shoulder to drift that way. I'm going to bend him to the right. It's kind of like I'm baiting him in. There goes the shoulder. Now I'm going to start to lift this rein, help with the supporting rein. Here I'll start to pick that right rein up. And right here, I'm going to pick the left rein up. There you go, bud. And I might come out here and I might just trot him around here like this for 10, 15, 20 minutes. Just playing around. Because you can clearly see the longer I trot him around, the better he gets. The softer he's getting in my hand, the quieter his head's getting. Sometimes this horse needs to come out here and needs to stay busy for a little while. It's not beyond me to say that I could reward this horse at a trot. I don't have to necessarily slow him to the walk or even stop him to reward him. I can reward him at the trot and just set my hands down or turn loose of him for a second or two. But keep him at the trot to kind of get him in the frame of mind where I'm not the kind of guy that comes out here and looks at this as just a time to really play with my horse. It's more of a work ethic for me. I've been around too many horses that had that mentality of all they wanted to do was play, and that might be fine if you're just out here trying to invest some time or spend some time with your horse. But if you got to go do a job with that horse, and that horse is going to have to carry some responsibility and possibly hold up their end of the job, or somebody's going to get hurt, then that playfulness really doesn't work out very well right there. And this horse, he's still green enough, and we haven't rode him an awful lot yet, so that playfulness comes out with him. I don't want to beat on him for it. I just want to keep him busy so he kind of gets in his mind, man, I need to pay a little bit more attention here, so maybe I could have a chance to do this. So Bud, that felt pretty good. We're going to give him a few minutes here, and then we'll come back and lope him around and see what it looks like at a lope. So you guys stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Riding horses each day is a horse lover's dream.
The Kerry Coon training halter is designed to eliminate the rolling effect from a lateral pull to help keep your halter in place at all times. With sliding rings to ride with, it works with the rider to pinpoint pressure where it will help the most.
I know you love your horse too. Many of you have bought the horse drinker from Bar A to provide fresh and safe water to all of your horses. Standing water creates algae and stale-tasting water. The horse drinker is like drinking from a mountain spring. As a result, your horses will drink more, and that means healthier horses. With no electricity, you won't be receiving any electric bill for your drinker. Protect the horses you love with the horse drinker from Bar A. Call now.
Welcome back to Riding Horses, everybody. All right, I think we're ready to lope old Hinto around a little bit. So we've been basically working on this horse's counter bend. What I've been trying to do is build a little bit more control of his shoulders, mainly because when we filmed a couple weeks ago, a week and a half or so ago, it's not that this horse wouldn't let me steer, because he would. If I'd pick up the left rein and use it as a direct rein, he'd go left, but he'd try to stay really stiff right there on that left side, and instead of bending around my leg and leading with his nose first, he would lead with his shoulder first and just drop that shoulder and cut across. Now that we've ridden him for another week and a half and I've been working on that, and we've just shown you guys what it looks like at a walk and a trot. Now when I lope him around today, it's going to be so much different today because now I've got the ability to use my supporting rein to help. And I'm not saying he's going to be perfect at it, but I want you guys to kind of see the difference. If there's a place in here where my supporting rein doesn't help, if he's if he's a little bit confused by what I'm trying to do with that supporting rein, then that'll give you guys a chance to see what it might look like if your horse doesn't really understand what you're asking, or maybe even your horse is saying, no, I don't want to. So I'm gonna lope him around today, and when I pick up on him to bend him right or left, I'm gonna be ready to help with that supporting rein so I could get him to be following his nose more like he is now. And just for the sake of this horse, he's been so much softer on the right than the left. He's just about to make a switch and be better on the left, but because the left has been worse, I'm going to go ahead and start out going to the left. Now I'm going to be thinking about my inside leg and where it would need to be if I felt this horse dropping his shoulder. My outside, my right hand, might have to be way out here wide like that right there. So I'm going to pick him up right here, push him off my left leg a little bit. You see where that nose is? How I'm just basically trying to steer that shoulder away from his nose. There you go, bud. Now this is 100 times different than what it was a week and a half ago when we would lope by this half of this circle. He was drifting down here to this side of the round pen so bad and so fast. So just me working on this hasn't just helped the feel, it's really changed this horse's frame of mind too, which is making this a whole lot easier. But I'll just come out here and just lope him around and just find me places where so my left hand is right there, my left leg is coinciding with that left hand. You couldn't see my left leg right there, but I had that left leg right there behind my front cinch. My right hand is out here, ready to help. So now I'm going to bring him down on a much smaller circle here. So there was a spot right there coming off the fence where if I would have let him, he would have dropped his shoulder. But now he's letting me. I don't necessarily want to say hold him up because he's not leaning on me, but he'll let me pick him up right there. Much better, bud. And here we'll just push him over here to the fence a little bit. And I'm gonna go ahead and slow him to a walk right there. We'll just let him walk here for a few seconds. So, if we went back to a week and a half ago and this horse was just drifting to this magnet over here, something fierce, there were times he'd carry me all the way to the panel, and then once he got to the panel is when he'd really follow that rein and just drop that shoulder and make a 90-degree turn at a lope to come back across the pin. All I want him to learn to do is I want him to learn to fold his body around my rein and around my leg, and whether I'm asking for a walk, a trot, or a lope, just go find some fluid forward motion. I don't want to be out here riding thinking, like I mentioned a second ago, actually a minute or so ago, about holding him up, okay? I shouldn't be out here trying to hold this horse up. If I feel like when I pick him up that he's leaning on me, and if I turn loose of that shoulder's just gonna go, then I need to be thinking about the repetition of it and trying to time my release to where maybe I don't hold it very long at all. But as soon as I feel that horse move off that rein and that leg, that I would turn loose. I'd give this horse the freedom to go right back in there. And then of course I'd just pick him right back up. And I'd be asking myself, I wonder how many times I've got to pick him back up before he quits dropping so much. To where it gets to the point where all I'm trying to do is pick him up and I don't feel like I got to hold him up all the way around. So I'm gonna lope me a couple circles here before I even really pick up on him, going this way. So he's really, okay, right there, which is kind of surprising. I've been saying all along that magnet is right over there. And that was the one place, there we go. That's the one place now where he's trying to step away from that magnet. So I'm gonna get prepared right here. I'm gonna get a lot shorter on my rein. So you see how short I am there with that right rein versus back here. See, I think I'm in a better position right there. Where I'm not necessarily pulling on him. I'm just holding that spot right there with that rein. I'm helping out here with my outside supporting rein. There you go. My inside leg is ready in position 1 right behind my front cinch. There you go, bud. There you go. So as we're trying to build this, it's just little bits at a time here, guys. I'm not necessarily trying to hold him all the way around in a circle. Now he's far enough along now that I can hold him more than one stride. There you go, bud. That was your best one yet. And that's what you'll notice as you go along. You'll notice that that horse gets softer And it's, what it is the horse allows you to hold it longer. So my intent is to just be able to pick him up and get him going and release. And as I practice that, and he gets better at giving me that step, as he gets softer and more willing in his mind, what happens is then he'll not only give me that step, but he'll hold it more on his own, where then I can just hold my position there and not have to necessarily turn loose of him right after that very first stride. That's a good job, bud. We got another horse coming by over here. It's kind of caught his attention. So for where we're at and what we're trying to accomplish today compared to what we had a week and a half ago, it's like I'm sitting on two different horses. So I think I'm going to give him a few minutes here to catch his air. He can figure out what's going on over here. You guys stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Riding horses each day is a horse lover's dream.
Hi, I'm Kerry Coon. If you own horses, you're familiar with fly problems. Shoe fly leggings are the best fly protection you'll find because they protect the most valuable part of your horse, their legs. Their simple and easy to use design helps to reduce stress on the joints, muscles, and tendons by preventing painful fly bites on the lower legs, which keeps your horse from standing around stomping all day. Made from a flexible plastic mesh, they do not restrict blood flow or range of motion and allow plenty of air circulation. So if you're looking for fly protection that has your horse's health in mind, shoe fly leggings is your best answer. Our horses wear them, you'll want your horses to wear them too. So check out your local feed or tack store, or for more information, go to shoeflyleggings.com. Hey, thank you guys for tuning into the show this week. You know, I think there's no doubt the main objective that we're after out here each day with these horses is I'm trying to build patience in my horse, but the only way I'm going to do that is I'm going to have to show him what it looks like. So I'm going to have to remind myself every day, it doesn't matter how much knowledge I have or how much I've practiced my techniques, if I'm not willing to give my horse a chance to work at it and think of it, I need to come out here and be patient as he's trying to make sense of what I'm doing, then my approach is going to be one that's where I'm just trying to force things on my horse. And I'm not saying that there's not a time and a place where I might firm up a little bit, because I can promise you that if my horses need it, they're going to get it. Just because I don't want to be hurt, and I've been hurt by more horses that were goofing off and playing around than I have horses that were scared of me. So today, as I was walking, trotting, loping this horse around, just trying to work on this idea of him thinking about stepping that shoulder there or stepping that shoulder back this way. See, the cool thing is, as I'm working on my shoulder control like that, now it's opened the door to where I can get him to start stepping that shoulder over like that. As I rock him back a little bit, now I can kind of move that shoulder lateral that way just from my exercise of doing this forward at a walk, trot, and a lope. So it's all going to start to tie together. But my focus has been today shoulder control because of what this horse was doing to us a week and a half ago. And I think this horse is showing us how easy it can be if we'll just make sure we've got things set up. You know, when you pick your reins up, just tell yourself wherever your hand goes to is where that horse is going to step to. So if I go out wide, he's going to step to that hand. But if I pick it up right here, he's got to learn to move around it. And once I have my technique right, my hands are in a good spot, my feet are helping like they should be, then it's a matter of repetition and being patient for my horse just to let him find his way through that and make sense of it. This horse is going to have so much feel to him that I can't wait till we get closer to December and show you guys a lot more advanced stuff with this horse. but to let other people ride him. My intent's to get my little boys out here riding him around too. But this horse being as soft as he wants to be, he's just going to make it easier for whoever's riding him. So great job today, bud. Thank you guys again for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Whoa, let's ride some horses, but remember they need a leader to trust in to help them succeed. Oh, let's ride some horses, that look in their eye. So saddle me up and let's go for a ride.
Say goodbye to the folks, Patch. Good boy.